What's going on, guys? Keen Flamer back with another video. Today we're going to be casting the finals of my Map Masters tournament, which I hosted about a month ago. It was $150 prize pool. It was a one-day tournament. Each round was a bunch of fun maps, and basically to get to the finals, you had to survive a lot of bullshit. And as you can see in front of you, the final players that made it all the way to the finals, that survived like maps like sudden death, team migration, and you had to go random god, by the way. So the players had to go through a bunch of bullshit basically. And as you can see, Shadowfaxx and Shelty made it to the finals. And this tournament was actually full of good players, so it was not easy at all. A lot of players lost in the semis or the other rounds like Count von Count, Chemo, Soup, Momo, Joe. So there was a lot of good players, right? And these two players, they adapted the best. They got a little bit lucky, and they just played the best overall, right? And they made it to the finals. So before we jump into the first game, right? Let me just explain real quick how the finals was played. So all five maps of the finals were mystery maps, which means that the maps were not revealed beforehand. Only when the players got to the finals and it was the first map, then they actually knew what the first map was going to be. But they did not know yet what the second map was going to be, or the third one, or the fourth one, or the fifth one, right? So each map was revealed one by one as they played the games. So they did not know what to expect at all, basically. So anyway, I think I talked too long already. So let's just dive into the first map and let's see what it's gonna be. All right, so I'll show you guys the map. So as you can see, there's a lot of forest right here. There's a lot of forest, and the map is quite circular. And if you guys have played Age of Empires 2 before, you might recognize this type of map basically. It's kind of like King of the Hill or like Gold Star, like a gold hill basically, because all the gold mines are in the middle basically, right? You see this? You do start with two medium gold mines, but eventually you're gonna have to move to the middle and it's just gonna be complete chaos, you see. And I think it also kind of looks cool. Like you have all like the signs right here. You have some bears. You have like the little desert-looking hill. So I think it's quite a officially pleasing map for the eye, right? Anyway, let's introduce the players, right? Most of you guys probably know, but Max Strain, he is Shelty. He's he's a no Norse player, but this time he got. They both had to go random god, by the way. So this time he got Kronos, and Shadowfaxx got Gaia. So Shadowfax's other name was No Mercy. If you guys know him, he's a vanilla player, very good. He also used to play a lot of scenarios, so he's all around a good player. So let's see. This is actually a very interesting matchup because you don't really see this often at all. That's the part I like about like these. I honestly like. Let me step back a little bit, right? Let me backtrack. Uh, I think the tournaments nowadays, like they're a bit too standard. I feel like people, at least me, and I've also talked to a bunch of people. I feel like they're getting a little bit tired of like the usual standard map tournaments where you can pick your god and everything, right? Like I think people want to see something like something interesting, right? Like something new, some new maps, some crazy stuff happening, but still competitive, right? It still has to be like good players, good games. So I feel like honestly, just judging from the viewers, right, that we got for this tournament or the finals, like it was like what, like 220 viewers, and people were very excited about it. It's like people were fucking hyped to see like the maps being revealed one by one. So you guys will see like there's some exciting stuff ahead. If you guys already watched it on the stream before, don't spoil it for the other people in the comments. But it's gonna be some exciting stuff. You guys will like it, I think. Anyway, so yeah, you do not really see this matchup really in normal games like Kronos against Gaia. Like what, right? Anyway, so let's see. So on this map, you got a bunch of boars to start with. So like, there's plenty of hunt. Honestly, it's all around the mountain, right? So there's some hunt. Actually, a lot of hunt. Okay. Anyway, um, so he's gonna build his temple, and then let's see what Shelty is gonna do. So Shelty actually does not have his temple up yet. Okay. Well, he doesn't have the gold yet. He's actually doing a very standard up. It's just that Shadowfaxx is very fast. Or it's just Gaia, I guess, right? Yeah. So I do like the Gaia Force around the towers. Very basic Gaia strategy, basically protecting your towers. Like the other civilizations, they make houses around the towers, right? And Gaia puts the Gaia Force around it. So, uh, so Cronus is like known as like a rush god, but you can also kind of do like a fake rush. Like you can like shift your temple forward and then valor your oracles right, and then push your opponent off hunt and then take a second down center. So there's a bunch of strategies you can do. Uh, so it completely just depends on the matchup, right? And Shadowfaxx, he's going for a Lido, so I'm assuming he's just gonna build a bunch of robots. Cause honestly, like I do think Kronos has the advantage in his matchup, unless Gaia manages to secure her large gold mine. But it is a double medium gold mine map though, so it could be okay. So he's even gonna wall chip his towers. So he's definitely expecting some aggression, and as expected because it's Kronos, right? Kronos to Pronos. So yeah, he's gonna probably expect some time shift action because Kronos can teleport his buildings basically for a very cheap wood cost. So you never know where he's gonna come from. It's kind of like Loki in like the old school ESO days. Like the Loki's like building like a temple behind you somewhere. Like Kronos basically does the same shit, especially in team games. So I like what Shelty's doing here. He's already like protecting his hunt villagers right here with the manor. Shadowfax does see it though. Let's see if it actually sees what he's opening. Nope. So he does not know what he's gonna open. And then Shadowfax is gonna open with the robots. Yeah. So basically, the premises I think for Shadowfax is that you're expecting the aggression right from Kronos, and they have the Prometheans, they have the Valor, right? So you kind of need something to defend yourself with, like to stall the game out. So robots are actually pretty good, like a very underused unit on Vubli, I think. On EE, we see robots all the fucking time, like the automatons. Like they're a little bit broken, maybe, because the fun part about automatons is that they can repair each other. So when the automaton gets damaged, you can repair the other one with another automaton, right? And even when they die, their corpse actually stays on the ground, right? And you can just revive it completely. So as long as you let your automatons die in a spot that you can get back to, you can basically get all your guys back. So it's a very cost efficient unit. And probably for the guys that are like watching right now that usually only play like campaign, right? I think all you guys know the automatons too from like the final few campaign missions. So yeah, there you see it basically. Look, they were just repairing themselves. So let's see, he's putting the spider layer down. Very good position because right on his hunt. So if Shelty walks into that, then he's gonna lose some army. And he's actually gonna okay, a little juke, but he deconstructs it right away. Okay, okay, dude, that was well played. So he sets the rally point to here, and they're automatically gonna walk this way. He's gonna try to cut it off, and he actually heroes his oracle to have just a little bit more army there. So he's trying to do a juke again, and now he's doing another juke, and this villager going this way, and that one that way. So he's going to lose this one, but he's not going to lose both. So let's see. So yeah, I think actually this is not that of good position for Shelty. He's kind of like stuck right here. He has to go out this way, and then yeah, Shadowfax can just cut it off here, and then maybe get a few more units, but he's not gonna do that. So he's gonna remake his manor. So when Kronos uses deconstruct, you actually get the full resources back. So It's mostly just annoying, like deconstruct. It's gonna slow you down a little bit, but you do get the resources back. So Shelty's gonna drop down another barracks. He is hunting in the open air, but the fun part about Kronos is that you can, for example, time shift this manor to here, and then you're okay again. So let's see. So Shelter doing a kind of like a risky raid. I'm not too sure about that one. The Kira Ballista, she's gonna shoot some arrows in their face. He is gonna lose one Terma there. But yeah, honestly, like this might be a little bit Gaia favored, I would say, because of the medium gold mine or the like the two medium gold mines, right? So Shadowfaxx actually taken down the citizen here. He could have just shifted the manor to here, but one thing to keep in mind though is that these players are like fucking tired by now. They have played like one or two best of threes. I think Shelty might have even played two best out of threes, and then also like the first two rounds which are best of ones. So this was a 1 day tournament. So these guys already are like a lot of games, and like they have already played a lot of games, which means they're not playing as optimal as they could be when they're fresh, right? So um, so now he is actually going to time shift Manor to the wood line. I like Shadowfax's army a lot more than Shelly's army. I think Shadowfax is actually going to win this by a lot. He just needs to hero like a few units if he has the resources, which he does, and then he can just take out the Prometheans, or I guess just take it out with the automatons. But yeah, this was not a good fight for Shelty to take because his other part of his army was just not even there. Um, and those automatons are just gonna heal back to full. They're just gonna repair themselves. So Shelty's forced to retreat here, and he's just gonna lose most of his army. And Shadowfax's economy looks very good, to be honest. He's still hunting on both sides. He has the spider layers on Shelty's hunt right here. And this is actually this is actually not a very good fight for Shadowfax. Uh, Maybe the automatons can clutch it out. It seems like it, but uh, yeah, okay. So he does win after all. But damn, those fucking automatons are just OP, I guess. But yeah, I guess like you don't really see Gaia that often in like 1v1, so it's pretty interesting to see this being played because I don't think Gaia is weak anymore. It's just that people kind of refuse to play her, probably because she's kind of boring. But honestly, at the same time, like this automaton shit, it looks pretty fun to me. Like, look at this. Like, this looks kind of a little bit OP, no? Like, look at that. He's just repairing all of his stuff. All of the robots going back up. They're just fucking hammering, and there he goes. Look at that. He's fucking repairing his boots, and the health bar is going up. Okay, dude. But yeah, so I think this is very like interesting map. Like I could see this being played more in tournaments just to spice it up, you know? Like I would love to see more matchups on this map, especially matchups where it really comes down to gold control. Like I would love to see the chaos just like people walling their gold in the middle, just like putting towers down, just like anything to secure a gold mine. Like it would be so fun to watch. So I do hope we get to see like late game on this map for this one. But usually Atlantean doesn't go that late, so I think it's gonna be decided kind of early, but we'll see. So Shadowfax is already going for a second TC, and Shelty not yet. Shelty seems honestly to be in a very bad spot. Uh, Shadowfax is already building armory, and he has the resources to go heroic soon as well. So this is looking actually very bad for Shelty. But this is what I was saying earlier. I think actually, like with two medium gold mines, this matchup might be Gaia favored. You have to like really, really go super aggressive on the Gaia if you want to win. Like basically like starve both gold mines. I guess that's what Shelty should have done. Like just put pressure on both the gold mines here. Like just put a lot of Caraballistas to shoot down these villagers and just gold starve. Maybe even shift in some towers, you know. I know it's more expensive to shift towers than it is to shift other buildings, but it might be worth it just for the gold starve. So here's the final battle. At least I think so. So Shadowfaxx actually does not like this fight. I would agree because, you know, he has heroic coming up and he has a second TC. So there's no need to even pick this fight, honestly. Like there was no need to even go here. And now Shelty is actually getting this around. But at the same time, even if Shadowfaxx loses most of his army, as long as he trades enough army with Shelty, like as long as Shelty loses a lot of army as well, then he'll probably still come out on top just because he's heroic, right? And Shelty has to remake his army as well. So it's not the worst, but he probably should not have not like suicided like that. Oh, and there goes the spider into the spider lair. So there we go. The bird's coming out, and I'm pretty sure he's just gonna auto the birds right here, and then Shelty basically has to hero the Termas, which is still kind of whatever against the birds. And he has a second town center, which he's not actually making villagers out of because he does not have the food for it. But the three boys are coming out with their loincloths, and they're just gonna whip these Termas in the back like this. Look at the size of those dries, though. Like, imagine being a Terma right now and just like seeing this fucking giant tree monster with his grass hair fucking swinging you down, dude. Look at that. But yeah, the birds are just gonna destroy Shelly's army here. And Shelly actually fucking took the Hesperides tree, or however you pronounce that. And he made a couple of dryads himself. And this is actually looking a little bit sour for Shadowfaxx. He still has plenty of gold though. Well, actually, it's only 1,000 gold left, but this is looking a little bit tricky. Like the hero Terma is not gonna do that much, but um, you can see the fucking Terma needs some glasses too, because it's missing almost every shot. But yeah, that was actually kind of like a blunder, like having him take the Dryad tree. He's gonna flank though. He's gonna flank Shelty in his own base. And those medium Arcus, I think they're gonna clean up these Murmillos right here. Shelty's still on 1 TC. Shelty's just looking for the all-in at this point because he knows that Shadowfaxx is on 2 TC. Yeah, there it is. He just does not have enough army to deal with Shadowfaxx at this point with his stronger units. So that's the game one, boys. And I'll see you guys in the next game. Peace out. Stay tuned for the next mystery map.